Hello folks, we're going to think about how to start preparing from July. So if you're starting now, you're at absolute zero, can you start now and then have a crack at it? Yes, it's going to be tight, it's going to be tricky, but you can start now and prepare for this exam. And I'm not going to give a day-by-day schedule, I'm going to give you an overall theme. The day-by-day schedule, how to plan, is available on the website, and there's another video to check that out. Check the description to go towards that point. Right? So, what are the kind of things that go into preparing for an exam, in any competitive exam? One is strong fundamentals, tons of practice, and mocks. There are three tracks. Right? So whenever I give an outline, whenever I think about a plan for preparing for CAT, I say build the fundamentals, build practice, and then take mocks. So it's a three-step process. Right now, if you're starting now, you can still crack it. It's still all three components are important, but now you have to imagine it as three tracks. And so learn from fundamentals. This part will be dominated by mathematics, by quant. We learn percentages, profit and loss ratios, geometry, algebra, all of that. Do tons of practice to hard boot or kind of consolidate learning to turbocharge some specific topics that are in your territory and just pick up speed and then do mocks. And so what looks like a triangle structure when you start in December, January, runs as three parallel tracks. What do I mean by now? What do I mean by that? Suppose you're doing percentages today, and then you do profit and loss, and then you do ratios. You should start taking speed tests on percentages subsequent day, and you should start thinking about, you should take a mock on Sunday. And I know that we're all built in a way where we don't take a big mock exam without completing syllabus. You simply do not have the luxury of saying, I'll start in July, finish syllabus, practice, then take mocks. At the bare minimum, the barest bare minimum, mock is a 3.5-4 month cycle. It's the bare minimum. You need a 3.5-4 month window to practice mocks, to get comfortable with mock taking, where you do 1 per week and then accelerated 2 per week. So if you have an 18-week window, that's 25 mocks. You can't take more than that. And if you take fewer than 25 mocks, you're not fully ready. It'll take 5-6 mocks to just get the hang of it. And so you must start mock taking very early. Students who are starting in July, there's this tendency to say, look, I'll prepare everything, I'll get comfortable, I'll do all three sections, then do section test, then do some practice, then start on mocks. By the time you start on mocks, it's October 15th. And then you get a sense of the overall paper. You take 3 mocks, you're on number 5, and then you feel like, look, I've got this. Then you'll regret thinking, I should have never spent so much time learning trigonometry. Why did I do so many questions from freaking binomial theorem? You'll feel that. And so your sense of what this overall paper is cannot wait any longer. And so one track for learning that's going to be dominated by quant, because quant syllabus is vast, much broader compared to verbal and LRD. There's no syllabus in LRD and verbal. It's not like you have to read these 14 passages or solve those 3 puzzles. So it's a mixed bag both. So in quant, there is a learning track, which is there you start with arithmetic, then go towards algebra or geometry, then do the other one. Arithmetic first, comfortable with arithmetic, then either algebra then geometry or geometry then algebra. Then a track for practicing and speed building wherever gaps are, then mocks. When you're doing mocks, you'll identify your gap areas, places where you're getting stuff wrong at, learn the funda, places where you're slow at, build speed, and then improve the art of question selection. That's important. How to analyze mocks, how to select the right question, how to plan well, when should you take. All those are part of our mock video series. Check those out for that. And so the learning will be slightly more than these two in the first 3-4 weeks, but you cannot, I cannot stress this point too much. You cannot live in a world where you say, I'm going to learn, then I'll practice, then I'll take mocks. You don't have time for that. Having said that, is there enough time to start now and prepare? Definitely yes. You have to get comfortable with the idea that you're going to jump into mocks without completing syllabus. You're going to get comfortable with the idea that when you're taking the mocks, the funda might be there, but the speed is not there. It will get built. You have to have faith in the process and say, look, ho jayega, dekh lenge, it will come. But you cannot say, I'll do all this, then come to mocks. That's the most important point. If you're starting in July, don't defer mock taking. You should take a mock as early as possible. Right? Timing wise, you need about 140, 150 hours to learn the syllabus, about 100, 150 hours to consolidate and build speed, and another 100 hours for mocks and analysis. You should look to do 25 mocks. You should analyze each mock for at least the time you spend taking it, which is 2 hours. So 4 hours per mock, 100 hours. Again, minimum. It could go up. It should go up, but it could go up. Second chunk is for building speed. So you take a mock and you realize that, look, I got everything in pipe systems work time, but it's taking me that little bit longer. So go do a pipe systems work time test and amp up your speed so that it gets consolidated, it's very fresh in your mind. Then is the learning part. You simply can't do questions if you don't know Pythagoras theorem, if you don't know tangent secant theorem. So if you don't learn that, then you're going to completely lose out on one chunk of questions in your mock. So learn, practice mock as a cycle. People starting in January, they learn, then they practice, keep revising, then come to mocks. People starting in July, learn, practice mock. It's all together simultaneously at the same time, whatever phrase you want to do. But it is massively useful. It is very much possible. Your mocks sharpen your learning game in a brilliant fashion, but you have to give that a chance. The most common mistake that I've seen people make, this is first timers, repeaters, people starting early, people starting late, all of us. If I had to put my finger on, say, what is the one mistake students make? They start taking serious mocks very late, too late. There isn't enough time to consolidate all the learning that you take from mocks back into the system. So don't make that mistake. Therefore, these are 3 parallel tracks that you have to go. Learn, practice, mock. Continuously, parallelly. Right? Very much possible if you plan well. You need to carve out 400 hours. There's still 5 months. So it's 80 hours per month. Doable. 15, 16, 18 hours per week, 20 hours per week, doable. Not impossible. 20 hours per week on a new task for a life, that's difficult. 20 hours per week for a new task that can change your entire life for 5 months, that's very much possible. So from now on, forget chutti, holidaying, party, Instagram, festivals, functions, cricket, football, all of that. And so some time for exercise, some time for staying happy and healthy in a good space mentally. Otherwise, every hour of your free time is going into CAT preparation. Very much possible. Please give it a go. Best wishes for CAT.